Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visite suprememastertv.com/schedule.
ਸਾਡੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ ਅਨੇਕ ਭਾਸ਼ਾਵਾਂ। ਕਿਰਪਾ ਦੇਖੋ suprememastertv.com/schedule.
In devotion to God, Sunderlal Bahuguna dedicated every action to protecting the natural environment. Sunderlal Bahuguna ji, Vegetarian, A Life of Dedication to the Environment, Part 2 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
No to vegan. Only people who work for heaven choose it.
With palms together and a bright smile, the residents of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands greet you with Namaste. That is the Hindi phrase for hello. Enlightened viewers, I'm Sahina. The faithful people of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands wish inner joy and heavenly brilliance for all beings. We are delighted to have you join us for part 2 of the two-part series entitled Sunderlal Bahuguna ji, Vegetarian, A Life of Dedication to the Environment. Sunderlal Bahuguna is known primarily as the spokesperson of the Chipko environmental movement. Chipko actively resisted the systematic deforestation of Indian rural woodlands, often confronting powerful corporations in peaceful resistance to prevent the destruction of wilderness areas. Sunderlal Bahuguna gained international attention in the early 1990s by leading an impassioned and unrelenting campaign of opposition to the construction of the hydroelectric Tehri Dam in the Himalayan foothills at Uttarakhand. The Gandhian-inspired nonviolent resistance soon spread to many other communities, eventually encouraging activism over a 5,000-kilometer or 3,100-mile area of the Himalayan region. By the 1980s, they became collectively known as the Save the Himalayas movement. The subsequent effects were immediate, with the local governments reassessing commercial logging permits on several occasions. In less than a decade, the 1980 Forest Conservation Act was introduced nationally. A year later, Sunderlal Bahuguna was offered one of India's highest civilian honors, the Padma Shri Award, but he declined, saying that he could not accept it as long as deforestation still proceeded. Sunderlal Bahuguna's meetings with the then Prime Minister, Her Excellency Indira Gandhi, resulted in a ban on commercially clearing of trees. At and past 1,000 meters or 3,280 feet above sea level for the next 15 years, Sunderlal Bahuguna led a life of austerity, partly to lead by example. He kept a vegetarian diet in respect to the people of the animal kingdom, wore only simple clothes, and walked 5,000 kilometers or 3,100 miles from village to village across the country when it was time to spread the message of forest conservation. He was invited to speak with acclaimed host Rajiv Mehrotra on In Conversations, one of India's most widely viewed talk shows on Indian public television broadcasting agency Prasar Bharati.
Today, this material civilization has created many problems. One problem is disparity. Disparity between the rich and poor countries. The poor countries are giving everything in order to get something which has become very dear to them, that is foreign exchange, for example, for us. So, the resources of this earth are being exhausted. So austerity has become essential. You see vast differences between the lifestyle of the people, even in one country. See the poor who do not know how to fill the belly, what will happen in the evening. And there are people who will throw away things.
In devotion to God, Sunderlal Bahuguna dedicated every action to protecting the natural environment. He believed that science had to be guided by spirituality rather than by politics, as thoughts directed from the heart cannot cause harm to others.
You know, I see that Almighty is everywhere, and especially in nature. You might have heard our Chipko movement. That was the movement was to save the trees. And I felt that what right we have to kill these trees, because these trees are also the creation of Almighty, and these are also the living beings like us. The only difference is that these trees cannot speak, these trees cannot move, but they do greater service to society than the human beings. Had there not been trees, we would not have survived, because trees are just like Lord Shiva, Shankara Bhagavan.
Every time I look into a cow's eyes and see the gentle soul dwelling in that enormous, powerful body, I feel like the animals are patiently waiting, quietly willing us to just catch on. Ivana Lynch, vegan.
Let's take a moment to pray for the well-being of our planet. We will be right back here on Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to Sunderlal Bahuguna Ji, Vegetarian, a life of dedication to the environment, part 2 of 2. In the 1990s, Sunderlal Bahuguna's ecological concerns were inspired by the dire warnings of geologist Virendra Datta Saklani, who had repeatedly tried to stop plans for a large hydroelectric dam at Tehri in Uttarakhand from going ahead. The project would have huge environmental impacts on an already fragile ecosystem. The proposed site for the large dam was in the central Himalayan seismic gap, a major geologic fault zone in the Himalayan foothills. Seismologists say it is possible the region could experience severe earthquakes. Were the dam to break, numerous towns housing nearly 500,000 people would be submerged in the dam water's path. Sunderlal Bahuguna used his influence to revitalize the Save the Himalaya movement. He spoke out, utilizing a mixture of scientific data together with his naturally earthy wisdom, and generated a large-scale campaign of opposition to the Tehri Dam project. For more than a decade, Sunderlal Bahuguna led an impassioned crusade against the project. He undertook 2 lengthy fasts while situated within the proposed flood zone, one of 45 days and another of 74. Even though the Save the Himalayas movement was ultimately unable to stop construction of the dam, the government did recognize the need to compensate those citizens displaced by the building of the Tehri Dam.
I felt myself guilty. I am living here in Himalaya, and these people who come with so much reverence to this Himalaya and who expect too much from Himalaya, not only for this material life but their other life also, for them we are sending floods, devastation. So we should repent and we should admit our fault. So I felt that it is our duty towards the whole country, and now it is irrelevant, it is obsolete to think that the main product of the forest is timber. There are alternatives to timber. But more valuable things than timber are oxygen, pure water which the country needs, and precious soil. So it was with this spirit that I went from village to village telling people, look here, that these trees not only for us, these trees are for the whole society. Then these trees have equal right to exist because they do more service to the society than we human beings.
In May 2021, the legendary Indian environmentalist Sunderlal Bahuguna passed away in Rishikesh at the age of 94. In response, the Prime Minister of India, His Excellency Sri Narendra Modi, commented,
श्री सुंदरलाल बहुगुणा जी का निधन हमारे देश के लिए एक बड़ी क्षति है। उन्होंने प्रकृति के साथ सद्भाव में रहने के हमारे सदियों पुराने लोकाचार को प्रकट किया। उनकी सादगी और करुणा की भावना को कभी भूला नहीं जा सकेगा। मरे बेचारा उनको परिवार और कई प्रशंसकों के साथ है। ओम शांति।
Through his spiritually inspired environmental activism, Sunderlal Bahuguna has also been the inspiration for a new generation of environmentally minded people in India. High-profile individuals, journalists, celebrities, artists, politicians, business people, and other conservationists who in turn have helped to promote a greater awareness of environmental concerns within Indian society. Sunderlal Bahuguna was a virtuous guardian of the environment, whose example and continuing legacy gives India and the world an alternative view, urging us to value our sacred home, Mother Earth. In closing, let us hear some wise advice from Sunderlal Bahuguna.
You know that power comes from the Almighty. When you surrender yourself to Him, He will show you the way. And three things, I believe. The first, you should have devotion.
Devotion to what? To whom?
Devotion to Almighty, devotion to the people.
Does Almighty take a form for you? What form does the Almighty have?
I see Him everywhere. I see Him in you yourself also. I see Him in trees. I see Him in rivers, mountains, everywhere. He is everywhere, omnipotent.
And omnipresent.
Omnipresent. So the first thing is that we should have devotion. The second thing is dedication. Dedication for a cause. If you realize that Almighty is everywhere and He is being heard, then we should dedicate ourselves for His service. And the third thing is determination.
Our deep gratitude to Sunderlal Bahuguna ji for his devotion, dedication, and determination throughout his life to serve God and protect the people, both humans and of the animal kingdom, as well as the environment. May the values that Sunderlal Bahuguna upheld continue to shine as a beacon of hope for a safe future for our planet.
Vegan, become a child again.
Noble viewers, it's been a pleasure to have your company today. May all trees and sentient beings be forever cherished and respected.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/MOS.